Yes, it's that time again. It's Thursday and welcome to my kitchen. It's Annette Sym here and it's Thursdays with Annette cooking show. I've got my book ready to go, all my ingredients. My oven is preheated to 190 degrees fan forced. So what are we making today? Well, I'm going on a winter theme at the moment because obviously we want the nice warm toasty meals overnight on these cold days. So we're going into book 3, which is a fabulous book, and we're making porcupine casseroles. Now this is a great one for the kids as well because I think everyone, young and old, love this recipe. So if you've never made it, stay tuned because I'll show you how easy it is to make it, because that's my theme this year. Everything's got to be easy. And look what I've cranked out and cleaned up my little casserole dish that I was given as a wedding present, and that's like nearly 49 years old, this beautiful dish. You want a casserole dish with a lid, okay? And a good sized casserole, because there's nothing worse than sauce making a mess in your oven, because who wants to clean your oven if you don't have to? So let's look at the recipe, okay? We want a can of diced tomatoes, the 400 gram. You want a can of the Heinz Big Red salt reduced tomato soup. We want some garlic, onion. The herb is oregano. I've got some water, some beef stock powder, and so this is the sauce, if you want to call it that. So it's the sauce. Then you make meatballs. So we've got 600 grams of really lean beef mince. I buy the best one you can get. I'm going to put in an egg white to help hold it together, and you put 1/3 cup of raw basmati rice in. So I'll explain as we go how this recipe works, but remember the oven's 190, so it's a little bit hotter than normal. All I have to do is chop up an onion. Yep. So let's get that out of the way. Get the hard work done, shall we? So we want 1/2 cup. Now today on the show, by the way, you can get a chance to win book 3, but I'm going to throw in one of these cutie pies for you as well. So you get book 3 personally signed, as well as a lemon chopping board if you do what I tell you to do at the end of the show. All right, so let's get in here and finely dice. You don't want big chunks of onion in the sauce. And we want 1/2 cup, remember. Oven's 190, yes, I've already told you that, so I'm just repeating myself, my apologies. And let's measure that. 1/2 cup. I reckon I can put that in and we are good to go. All right, so there's the onion done. Let's move that over here. All right. So let's do the sauce and then we'll get into the meatballs. So basically we're just going to chuck it all in here, okay? So can of no added salt as well, because that's really good for heart health, and we want that, don't we? We want about being healthy, and also for people with diabetes, you know, they need to really make sure they have a low sodium diet. So that's why the soup is also salt reduced. Now you've got a cup of water here, so what I'm going to do, because waste not, want not, I'm going to pour 1/2 of it in here, switch it around, and 1/2 in this one. Good stuff. A teaspoon of crushed garlic. Now you can use fresh garlic if you can be bothered. I'm a lazy cook, as you know, so this is what works for me. A teaspoon of oregano, however you want to call it. Don't you love how the spoon just fits into there so easily? 2 teaspoons of beef stock powder. I'm going to put it back because I'm also going to put 2 teaspoons into the meatballs. So that way I don't forget. And I'm going to just give this a bit, I might use a wooden spoon. I'm going to stir it all up. And then I've just got to put the onion in. All right, can you follow me how easy this is, people? Oh my gosh. All right, so there's our sauce done. And now we're going to move over to making the meatballs. All right, so let's put this here. Now, I'm going to mix it together, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put gloves on because I don't want it to get under my nails and all that sort of stuff. I don't like it. So this way I can mix and roll and not worry about it. So rubber gloving. Let's put in here 2 teaspoons of the beef stock powder. I use the Marcel because it's a lower one in sodium, which is what I'm interested in, and 1 egg white. And that'll help bind it all together. So I'm going to mix this together first. Actually, I'll get another spoon. Actually, no, I'm going to do my hands. See, this is why you just do the gloves. I want to mix in, let me just yank them up. Mix in the egg white really well and the stock powder so it's combined. Now we're going to make 12 meatballs with this, but look how lovely and lean it is, and that's what you want. Now in goes the 1/3 cup of the raw basmati rice. Now I always use basmati rice in my cooking because it is the lower GI rice. So, I mean, I just imitate and copy what's recommended for diabetics, type 2 diabetics, because it's the healthiest diet you can be on is a diabetic diet. So why not do it anyway? I'm not diabetic. Probably would have been if I was still 100 kilos at the age I am now, but luckily I was able to change my future by losing 35 kilos and keeping it off. All right, so we're mixing that rice in really well. Perfect. Let's put you over here. Little antique casserole dish. And I like to be precise. Yes, you know I do, because I've got to make 12 meatballs. So I don't want to have different shape because then they'll cook at a different time. So let's weigh the whole batch. And Bill's got his calculator ready, haven't you, my honey bunny? So that's 723. So what is that?
60 grams.
60 grams? Let's do it. All right.
6.25.
Okay. So let me get an idea of how big 60 is. Yep. So I'm just going to make them all up. And then roll them all at once. So we want 12 all up, don't we? And what's great about this particular recipe is it takes a while to cook it, okay, because of the raw rice in it. So, you know, make it, you know, give yourself plenty of time because you're actually going to cook it in the oven for an hour and a half. Yeah. All right. And what happens if you've never made it? Oh, my battery's gone low. Oh. Excuse me, I'm filming here, people. What's going on? Oh, it's gone low, Billy. Have you got a battery?
Turn it off behind you.
I have. You said turn it back off. Seriously. Low. God. Well, I'm going to guess it at the moment while I'm waiting for my new battery or Bill's. Get your other scales that you use in the mail orders, Bill. Don't you just love it? I don't edit. I'm real. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Thank you, Bill. All right. Oh, this is a bit fancy. So I've got to bring it to 0. How do I bring it to 0, Bill?
The other side.
Where?
The left side. Just push the left side button.
Okay. Here we go. So that's that one done. That's that one done. And what happens, as I was interrupted with the scales being silly, was while it's cooking, what is magic is the rice cooks in with the meatballs, right? And the rice pokes out, so it looks like a bit of a hedgehog, you know, a porcupine, you know what I mean? All right, so there we go. Let me get this out of the way. And all you have to do now, I mean, you could guesstimate if you want, but I like to make them all the same. And you're going to roll them in the ball and then just plop them in. All right. As I said, it takes an hour and a half to cook, or until you feel like the rice is actually cooked. And I don't know, I reckon my kids always loved this. They kind of thought it was a bit fun. They reckoned they were eating a porcupine. So you just want to make 12 balls, and this serves 4 people. And you can actually make it with chicken mince too. I give you the variation in the cookbook. Because I find sometimes it's nice to vary it up. So if your family really like this, and it's quite a cheap dinner, you know, you could swap it with even pork mince you could do. The fat count is 7.8 for the beef, and the chicken's a little bit higher at 9.3 grams of fat a serve. Yeah. So you, as I said, to get all the 12 in, you need a good size casserole dish. You don't want a little one, because you want all the balls to be in that sauce. So I'm just pushing that down now. So it's actually all covered by the sauce. Now on goes the lid. In my oven. And it's going to stay in there for an hour and a half, which is 90 minutes. 90 seconds. Oh, it does it 1 hour 30. There you go. Well, I'm going to clean up my mess here, and we'll be back in a while, and I'll show you the finished product. See you soon. Well, the oven's beeping at me. It's been an hour and a half. Let's check it out. My house smells like an Italian restaurant because of the, you know, herb and the tomato. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Fantastic. Put that down gently. Looking amazing. It's a shame we can't get you down here to have a look at it all. But what I'll do is I'll do a serve. So see how it's sticking up? Zoom in on it, Billy. See how it all sticks out? That's what makes it like a porcupine. So each person gets 3 balls. There we go. There you are. And of course, some of this magnificent sauce. I mean, this is one of those hearty meals that I just know your family's going to be asking for again, that's for sure. How easy was it to make it as well? But I think it's got a little bit of a wow factor. I'd serve this with some veggies because it's like winter. You could have salad with it. I don't do a carbohydrate with it. I don't do mashed potato or anything like that because you've got the rice in there. And when you open it up, you'll see there's plenty of rice in each of those balls. So that's a good carb. Well, what are you going to win this week? Do you remember what I said before? Book 3, where the recipe's from, you can win this personally signed by me. And I'm throwing in one of my delightful little lemon chopping boards for you as well. So you're going to get both those, but what do you have to do to win them? You have to like, share, and then in the comments, hashtag simply with a Y, too good. Put that in the comments and hopefully you'll be a winner. Now, next week's show is going to be epic. It's one of those great pasta dishes that's, once again, super easy to make, no effort at all, and it's my penne pasta with a creamy bacon sauce. I know, I said the word bacon. Yes, you had me at hello. So that's out of book 4, and I think, and it's also in the Cooking for One or Two, isn't it? Is it more or Cooking for One or Two, Bill? I'm making it at the smaller version. Yeah, I'm going to make it for 2, just to show you how easy it is to make really fabulous food if there's just 2 of you. I mean, I'll tell you how to make it for 4 if you want. Well, there you go. Who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Hello, we've got our little porcupine balls, and it was just a delight to cook for you today. So don't forget, if you want to check any more recipes out or tips, go to simplytoogood.com.au, and I'll see you for the pasta dish next week. Take care. See you next Thursday.